So welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at This War Without an Enemy from Nuts Wargames, is what it is. It's designed by Scott Moore and Nicholas Roblin. So this is an English Civil War game. It is also a block war game, and it is a two-player block war game. It comes in a really nice 2-inch box. You can see it's got, well here, can we catch the light? Nice glossy box here. It's fairly heavy because it's obviously full of wooden blocks in it. Nice game. We've actually played this one. This is one of those rare occasions where we played a pre-production copy of it. There's already a review of it. It was technically like a Kickstarter preview. But if you want to know more about how the game actually plays, go and watch that, because we've got a whole video on that and how it is. This is just a little unboxing of what the actual production copy is going to look like if you decide to pull the trigger and get it. So, the game takes about an hour. Well, it takes anywhere. It's probably a 2 or 3 hour game. It can be shorter if things go catastrophically wrong, but that's you know, any games like that. So, we got a number of blocks in here for the different factions, and we'll kind of get to some of these pieces here in a second. You do get a series of dice, because like a lot of block war games, you'll roll a good number of dice. Here they give you these. These are wooden, and they're very rounded. But you've got the orange ones and the blue ones. And then we have a deck of cards, because this is a card-assisted game. Oh, there we go. The cards, so the back, we have the king, for the king on the back, and then for parliament, because you have parliamentarians and you have royalists in this one. Obviously, it's English Civil War, so you've got 2 decks of cards each, and I think these are fairly even decks, as the decks are just, a lot of them have numbers on them, for operations, values, and things like that, but some of them do have special events that you can use on them. And some of those are also predicated on what year it is. So those will get added to it from the deck, but some of them just have a value on them as well. And I want to say some of these are different. They are asymmetrical. Some of the events are on those. We have a rule book and a playbook. That's nice. Okay, so the rule book is full color. This is a very nice rule book. Lots of diagrams and illustrations. And let's see, rules-wise, those are scenarios. 18 pages of rules, and that's a fairly... I mean, whilst that is a lot of text, I've seen smaller font sizes, let's put it that way. The playbook, which in theory should teach us how to play the game, should have a big extended example of play, which is nice. If you want to learn that way, just set it up and follow that along. And then historical commentary, yes, lots of basically just background. Do we have some designer notes? Not necessarily, no, but I'm sure that a lot of that is included in the historical notes of why they tried to model things a certain way. So the blocks, let's take a quick look at those. So these are the blue blocks for the king, for the royalists. They're kind of like a light, almost like a powder blue, those are cute. I like those. And then we got orange ones for the parliamentarian player. Again, these are very, very nice blocks. And they're painted quite well, so you don't... The wood grain is not really visible, you can see the directions of it, but those are decent quality blocks. Then we have a few different markers and other bits and pieces on here as well. Yeah, okay. And so there's some green ones, some red ones, there's a black block, and there's a couple of markers for marking the different tracks on the board. For victory and time, things like that. So those are all the blocks. There's not actually that many. And this is a hidden block, so you're only stickering one side of them. We have setup for the various different scenarios here. So we've got September 1642. This is the Royalist side. And then 1644 Royalist stuff. And then for the Parliamentarian player, we have the September 1642. This is all of their setup. And then 1644, this is their setup. These are just a heavy paper. But those look nice and will make it very easy to set things up. And I don't know if you can see, everything's got like lines on it, so it's just these guys go here. So you don't have to refer to finding all the names if you're not familiar with English geography. So we have 2 play aids, and these are dual-sided and identical. Again, this is a heavy paper, but these are glossy, and these are quite nice. There's actually a lot of stuff on here. I don't think we played with these, which would have been very nice. Sequence of play, and then just summaries of the various different phases, bombardment table, siege table, and then on the back we've got operational phase, withdrawing from battle. Very, very nice. I'll be honest, these are going to help you out immensely. We have a single sheet of stickers, and this is what I talked about. It's not actually that much stickering to do. That looks like quite a few blocks, but it's only single-sided. But the blocks themselves, I love block war games because when they print them, you can get some really, really nice detail on them. And I don't know, I just like the style of these. I think those look great. We got some Royalists up here. I don't know. I love that. It's really nice having nice playing pieces on a board. But it's not a whole lot of effort to stick, it's just 1 sheet of stickers. Okay. Then we have... Then we have the battle board. And this is also just heavy paper, much like the play aids and those setup charts. This is a kind of an auxiliary board where you'll do all your attacks on it. And you can kind of see here, you basically... It's symmetrical mirrored halves, and what you're going to do is you're going to set up your forces. You've got your infantry who are fighting, who are like firing their muskets. You've got artillery, kind of on top of a hill, and you've got cavalry, and then you've got engaging infantry who are they're getting into melee. So basically, really, this is just a mnemonic to keep your forces organized as to who's doing what, and then you've got a reserves box here. But I kind of like it. It looks cool when you're actually playing it as well. And you play 3 rounds of combat at most. And so you do like artillery fires at each other, firing infantry fires, then cavalry, then engaging infantry. And then if your cavalry end up trying to chase people down, they like go out of the fight, so they're in this pursuing box. Or if yours are routing, they go off into this box. It's a really neat little system that gives you a little bit of extra flavor on top of just lining them up and rolling dice that a lot of old block war games do. So I appreciated that when we played that. That's a big part of why I like this game. And the last thing we have is the map, and this is fully mounted, which is very, very nice. Again, ours was a prototype copy if you watched that preview, where I went to a local print store and printed it out. So this is really nice to have it fully mounted. Oh, if I can get it open. There we go. Okay, how are we doing this? Okay, that folds out in kind of an odd way. Alright. Okay. Not necessarily the most orthodox of ways to fold it, but what it results in is that this board is almost entirely flat on the table as soon as I've opened it the first time, which is a lot more than can be said for most games. On top of that, you'll notice it is quite big as well. It's slightly... Do they say how big it is on here? No. They do not. Map. It's A1 sized, which I think is bigger. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I feel like this is slightly bigger than 22 by 34. I could be wrong about that, but it feels like it's bigger. Again, that also could be tainted by when we played it. I printed out a copy and I felt like it was just a bigger map than the normal war games we play with. But, as you can see, big map of England, and it's divided up into the regions, so you can have your blocks in each of these regions, moving around across borders, different terrains, trying to siege these big cities, which have siege values on them, and points values. and you have to get and hold a certain amount to win a scenario. London's very hard to do that, but it's worth more if you can do it. It has this little symbol for some inherent, what do you call it, garrisons in them as well. There's a lot to like in this game. I have enjoyed it very much. The production value is pretty good. The paper stock is, it's okay, it's fine. I maybe wish that this was on a board, but that's the only thing. The blades are fine as far as I'm concerned. But this is what you get in the game. So you get a deck of really nice, high-quality cards in it. Number of wooden blocks. Yeah, you do get the cool dice with it too. And then stickers and some play aids and rules. We've had a very good time playing this. This is one of my favourite games I've played this year, honestly. It helps that it's really nice to look at and play with, but I also enjoy the topic, although I'm biased in that situation. I enjoy a good block war game, and this one had a bit more meat to it than some of the other block war games we've played as well, which is nice to have that option where you spend a couple of hours in it, whereas some of the other ones we've played are fairly light and play quite quickly, which again has its place, but it's nice to have one where there's some, you know, you can really get into it and spend a good afternoon doing it. So that's everything that you get in This War Without an Enemy from Nuts Wargames. Available now. Scott Moore's on Twitter, I believe, so if you have any questions about the game, you can always ask him as well. He usually responds pretty quickly from what I've experienced in my interactions with him as well, so I had a good time with this one. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.